hope you all are doing well, listeners, and having a fun weekend. I'll say I'm doing very, very well because I do have Arjun Rampal on off the cuff. And welcome, Arjun, to my show.
Thanks, Namrita. Thank you so much.
So, Arjun, as everybody knows, is a model, actor, and film producer, a national award winner who's done over 50 films. And according to Aparna Sen, Arjun is a drop dead gorgeous man. So, it's difficult, a little difficult for people to accept him as a good actor. That's what Aparna Sen said about you. I'll agree to a certain extent, definitely on Drop Dead Gorgeous. And I've enjoyed your work in so many movies like Rock On, Rajneeti, Om Shanti Om, and in Car, actually. I loved in Car. Uh, so,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, and you'll be here in the Bay Area very soon on April 28th to join Gala. So, thank you for using your celebrity for a great cause. Why did you decide to join and support
I
Cry?
didn't decide. They arm twisted me. They've twisted my arm. They've thrown me
Okay.
into this because I've been associated with them last time, about 7 years ago. Okay,
Yes.
in 2017, I think I'd come,
Okay.
and I had a wonderful time. It was such a success, not just because we had great donors who came and contributed tremendously
Yeah.
to a great cause, but it was also a lot of fun with the whole team. And that's the first time I actually connected with them on that level. And we had actually a superb experience. Um, and I was very pleasantly surprised when they called me for their 20th anniversary. This is
Yes.
going to be 20 years of
20.
Cry America. And
Yes.
they said, Arjun, we had such a great time. We would like you to come. And I didn't think of it even twice. I was like, okay, I'm going to change my schedule. I'm going to get there because I had such a great time with everybody that I would like to think there's a lot that's happened in those 7 years. You're seeing a lot of children cry, which it does. I mean, with the welfare for children, and today,
Mm,
unfortunately, the kind of visuals and the kind of imagery you're seeing of the world,
absolutely.
it's been quite brutal on children. Children being displaced. There's so much sadness. The families where children have been uprooted from. So I feel it's the right time to come there. We're doing something serious, but we'll do it in a fun way. And try to fill in any kind of a little bit of this big void that we have so successfully managed to create in this world as humans.
Yeah, yeah, and Cry has been doing amazing work, and I think they've helped over 3 million children since
Yes,
inception in 1979, and it was started by Ripon Kaur, uh,
yes.
a person who just started with 50 rupees, and look where Cry has reached. And it's so wonderful to have you support, their mission, and they stress a lot on education, health and nutrition, safety and protection, and child participation. And it'll be wonderful to hear you that day and the CEO of Cry. Like you're saying, and we are living in today's world where, a lot of children are being impacted by poverty or a war or whatever, you can say. So what do you think, how important is empathy to you? How important is EQ in today's world, rather than IQ, I'll say?
I think, it's really, really sad that we can spend trillions
Yeah.
of dollars on war, you know, uh, trillions. You can send, your tanks, your armor, and still you've not been able to, eradicate hunger or starvation or education or simple basic needs of proper water, clean water to in people's homes. I mean, we should be ashamed of ourselves. It should be, it's just as simple as that. What are we doing?
mm,
We sit in our comfortable spaces and then we forget about everything. I remember when even COVID happened,
mm.
we all looked out of our windows and we saw blue skies.
Yes. Yes.
Everything was clean. There were animals coming out everywhere, and
Yeah.
we said, "Wow, we are never going to do this again." We
Yeah.
can. It showed us. The world showed us. Nature showed us that how when humans don't come in the way of nature,
Mm.
okay, how quickly nature rehabilitates Earth, the planet, and in that process gives you so much more beauty back.
Absolutely.
Why don't we live in that beauty? But the minute the lockdown is over, everybody's running in the rat race again, and everybody's forgotten about everybody else again, and everybody wants to cut the line and be ahead. And what's wrong with us? And who's created all
Greed.
of
It's
this?
it's greed. It's capitalism. It's the
Yes,
human
so
nature.
exactly. So
Yeah, which
I
is.
think it's time to, step back. I don't want my children to grow up thinking with that mindset.
Mhm.
I think it's important, even though we have been very much an integral part of um, creating this environment. Okay, and we have to take responsibility for it. At least now it's never too late, and say, okay, listen, we've got to draw the line, and these are the places. Let's draw lines and
Mhm.
just say, itna kar lo, itna de do, itna
Mm,
ye kar lo, itna wo kar lo.
mm.
Have these little things, and definitely have a certain uh, pocket out there for somebody who you can help, who has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
If every individual just does that much,
Mm.
and works with the right people,
Yeah.
you will see a big change and difference in
Mm.
people who are suffering and who do not have access to basic needs what they should have access to.
Very
If
true.
governments can't do it, we have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's
We
what I
have to
said.
show sometimes the government the way that this can happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes governments do have big sanctions and money to go to certain people never reaches them.
It doesn't. Yes.
you know
Mm.
so all those things I think need to be looked into.
Mm.
It won't happen overnight, but you have to start somewhere. So when you have events like this, I will support it, because I know Cry as a foundation is going to make sure that whoever's contributing today,
Mm.
the money is going to go to the right people. I've
Absolutely.
seen it happen. I've seen the results,
Mm.
and I know that it's not a scam. Today, 90% of us are also scared to do anything because it's a scam.
Yeah. 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 No, Cry, it's a prestigious non-profit, and we all know
Yeah.
about it. And I'll urge everybody to go to cry.org or cryamerica.org and look at the projects they are dealing with, and do donate and do come on April 28th to Campbell Villa Ragusa at 5:30. Meet Arjun Rampal, hear what more about Cry, and Cry America itself is impacted more close to 800,000 children, Arjun. And, it stresses a lot on education, and education is a privilege for so many in India. And even here, I mean, it shouldn't be a privilege. It should be a basic right for everybody to get
Hmm.
educated. So for you, as an actor, as a model, what does education mean to you? What is the importance of education in your life?
It means to me your first steps of communication.
Okay.
You
Mm.
know, how
Mm.
are you going to come into the world communicating? How much confidence is it going to give you?
Mm.
So you get confident, you know about something. So
Mm.
you will come out there. Then
Mm.
how can you understand the situation? the understanding of that between good and bad, what's right and wrong,
mm,
without it being forced upon you. I think there's one thing about learning how to read, write,
mm,
calculate, do all of that. But a good education is something which you walk out of feeling confident, knowing you. I think that is what is important.
mm,
That is truly an education. That education continues till we die. We are always learning every single day, and that's where it should be. So, educating oneself is a ongoing process.
absolutely.
You know, Schools are the first levels of
Mm,
skill sets you learn about meeting new people,
mm,
being able to communicate with them, feeling safe with them, making friends,
mm,
making feeling secure,
mm,
all of that. So I think that's very, very important to have
mm,
in life. Okay. Going away from your loved ones, like your parents drop you to school.
mm,
you know
mm,
First you are petrified कि क्या होगा. Parents are petrified, मैं अपने बच्चे को कैसे छोड़ के जाऊंगा. And then they go in. Now the child doesn't want to come out. He wants to play once he has his friends and everybody. you
mm,
know so to make them independent, it's about creating a certain level of independence that can happen from a certain level of security that you can do. And I think everybody deserves a good education. I think in India, our education system might be not as robust as it is world over, only because we have so many more numbers of people. But I think people who go to our schools are safer than people who go to schools in the US. क्योंकि मैं जब देखता हूँ कि US में क्या हो रहा है, where people come in and start shooting people down, this doesn't happen in India. So tell me now, which education system is more successful? you know uh it's
mm.
so and it's not about comparing or drawing lines or doing any of that. I think India's got very good people, who can teach, and who can we have to work, to in more inclusivity and creating more infrastructure in India, actually, for
Yeah,
the children,
yeah,
more than anything else, and getting even more teachers, people to take up jobs as teachers. Yeah, I think that's also very, very important. But today, I mean, I think when you see children growing up, I've been very different parent from what my parents were. Yes,
absolutely.
certain qualities, of course, are there,
Mm, yeah.
which will come.
Mm,
But the parenting that I give my daughters is very different from the parenting I'm giving my own son, which has a big generation gap between the two. Because the world that son is in now is so much more different. Today, he's got access to so much information through technology.
yes.
So actually, education is also changing so hugely. Now, a good education system would be something which will also tell you how much of this is good and how much of this is bad. Today you're getting so much more aware about old remedies of Ayurveda, of yoga, of everything. What benefits these things have on a person's body? That's
Yeah.
an education.
Mm,
Where had that disappeared? Today, because of technology, you're getting reintroduced to this.
very true.
It has more access to it. So a lot of things are happening. A good education would be a person, if you can bring a person to
Mm,
be able to filter this for themselves and take
very,
the good and bad from all of this.
yeah, yeah. You need to have that mind,
मेरे को तो लगता है schools भी नहीं होंगे in the next 10 to 15 years.
No, sooner or later,
नहीं
schools
होंगे.
will become irrelevant. I've seen
Yeah.
Chat GPT take over education here in the US. Kids and teachers both are using Chat GPT for everything. So,
Crazy.
I think it requires a lot of experience to grow. I feel the people you
Yeah.
meet, I think the mentors you make will be very important, and obviously technology. Definitely for today's generation, I feel.
So today, when we are coming to cry, what we're coming to do here
Yeah.
is for a simple fundamental necessity and requirement of a child. What
Yes.
is a child? A
Yes.
child is ultimate purest happiness. There's no money, success,
Mm,
fame, nothing that can give you the joy that a baby or a child can give you.
mm. Very
Okay.
true. Mm,
When that is taken away or is abused by anybody,
mm,
okay,
mm.
Cry is a foundation that fights for that person's rights and for that person's protection.
बिल्कुल.
And that's why I'm coming to America. And
Mhm,
that's why you all have to come. And
mhm,
that's why you all have to be there. And we will do it in a fun way. But what you will be contributing to will put a big smile on your face,
mm.
and fill your hearts with love.
Mm.
And you're going to go home feeling like a good human being and more connected with yourself. And that's all that one wants to achieve.
Absolutely. We are looking forward to being there and support Cry. Another question was, you are a parent now, Arjun. You have daughters, and they are getting into the field that you are involved in, modeling and acting. So, uh,
Yes.
any advice to them? Talking about mentorship.
I give them advice all the time.
Okay. Do they
That
take
they
it?
never
Do
take
they
it, they
take
never
it?
take it. That's a different thing.
Yeah, because I'm a parent too, so I know.
Yeah. So I'm as much of a parent like you are, and you know how it is with children.
Yeah,
Okay. And my kids are no different from your children. Oh, finally they end up doing whatever they want to do.
I
The
know.
best thing that you can do for them is, again, go do whatever you have to do.
Mm,
Okay. Don't be scared of anything or anyone. You are protected. You can always fall back. We are always here for you. We always have your back. I think that's what a parent can do,
absolutely.
unconditionally. That's why we become parents. Children should realize that and not misuse it, because there will only be a lot of pain in that for everybody. So I think when you have that kind of a relationship, today parenting has become more about being a friend than being a chaperone or person who's judging you or you're going to be judged by. It's none
Different.
of that.
Yeah.
It's very different. You have to be a friend. A parent can be as much judged today by a child than a child. I think we get more judged
Yeah,
about the way we speak.
very
This
true.
woke
Yeah.
generation and their language and all other cheezeं to mujhe pata bhi nahi hai. And they say, "Oh my God, what have you said and what have you done?" And that's not cool. And this is not that. I was like, dude, but I was considered the coolest person at one point in time in my life. Now, why am I not cool? So, I mean, generations and times change, and that's fine.
Absolutely.
We have to adapt to it. This is their world, their time, and it'd be very interesting to see what kind of creativity they bring to the table. And one should leave them, and give them that freedom to go and imagine, because imagination is a wonderful thing. I can't imagine for you, you can't imagine for me, and so why should I imagine for my children? Because they can't imagine for me either. And let them come with their imagination and they're going into a creative space. And it'd be wonderful and exciting to see what they create.
So lovely.
My daughter Myra, she does some beautiful paintings. And like, I mean, you see her art sometimes, and I'm like, wow, that's deep, and like, I didn't think that you had that, but suddenly she can express it through that. So, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to discover people through art. And I'm very glad that both my children have come into a space of art, which is a space which I've been so comfortable in,
Mm,
and I've enjoyed so much because it's given me so much. And it keeps me alive and keeps me young and keeps me wanting to do more and more.
very
So, it's not mundane or boring at any point in time. So, I'm glad that they're in that profession, and I wish them all the happiness and success as long as they can be originals.
absolute originality is very important. You've been an original, I'll say, in an industry that makes you do things again and again and again, and you've redefined yourself in so many movies, I have to say, and
Thank you.
we love you for that. And uh, you know, so what do you have to say about? I think I'm just one more question about your career. Do you think you came out unscathed and undeterred after 23 years or more of being in Bollywood? And do you have hunger to do different things even now? How will you define your 23 years?
Unscathed and undeterred, I don't think anybody is going to come out of,
Oh, okay.
in an industry.
Oh,
I think you carry your scars and your
okay.
battles and your wounds, and they're reminders of, the kind of um, uh, experiences or battles or upheaval tasks or accidents or mistakes, okay, that you have created in your life. And it's nice to see that, and nice to acknowledge it,
Mm.
because then only can you evolve into, I think, a more a better version of yourself, and that should really be everyone's goal, is to keep trying to become the best version of you. I don't care about anybody else. If I can be the best version of me, then I know I'm contributing and collaborating with people who would have the same energy. They would be their best versions of themselves too, and that's who I would attract. And that's the law of attraction, which is what I have learned. You know, you will only attract, or your life will only become what you think. It's
Oh,
all here. So if you think positive, you will have positive things coming to you. If you think negative, you will see negative things coming to you. If you create an aura of absolute, um, originality and, thing, you will attract people. You'll be like a magnet. People will want to know more about you. So there will be a curiosity about you. For that, there is a lot of things you do through your life where you say, okay, sometimes you kind of give to more than you've received, and that depletes you and puts you into depression and puts you, feeling empty and useless. So you, through life, I think, learn how much to give, how much to retain, when to replenish, when to give more, because giving is a wonderful act. Okay, receiving is also a wonderful act, but you need to also learn how to receive. Sometimes by giving so much, you forget to take, or you feel shy to take.
yes, yes.
I've seen a lot of people like that, and all those traits are within you. And similarly, in an industry which is very, very competitive, and sometimes superficial, and sometimes deep, and sometimes, a tremendous amount of joy, and sometimes a lot of pain. You need to know how much to give, and how much to retain, and how much to protect, and how much to, do of all of that, like in anything in life. So, yeah, I think I have come out being wiser, and that wisdom I can share with my children. And that's why, they will have maybe an advantage over other kids. But if somebody hears me speak, or somebody asks me for my advice, if I write a book one day, I will definitely mention all of these things, where people can, fall back upon it and say, yeah, maybe it makes sense to them or not, but if it does, they can definitely use it to go forward.
Such a great answer. I can only see half your face, though I didn't want to.
Oh, sorry,
There,
man.
there.
Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I needed to
Yeah,
see full face.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
but such a wonderful answer, Arjun. And your failures make you wise, and I think your fame makes you happy for some time, and you've gone through the whole gambit of it, and that's why you're saying what you're saying, which is so wonderful to hear. I am so thrilled to have you on Off the Cuff and talk to you briefly about your career and about Cry. Just last words. What are you looking again ahead, and especially um, um, on the day of the Cry Gala in Bay Area? Anything that you'd like to see in the Bay Area or do, and anything. Just.
Oh, I'm coming with Gabriella. She's never been there. I've
Oh,
been there.
lovely. Mm.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take her around. I don't know what it looks like anymore.
Okay.
I don't know
Uh,
what it is. So please suggest to me, send me suggestions of
okay.
what places I could go to.
Golden
Which,
Gate is a must, and then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's so much
I mean,
beautiful.
San Fran is a beautiful, beautiful
Absolutely. That's right.
thing. But like, I've been seeing some horrible images of, a lot of disparity and people like on the streets, and I don't know how far that's true.
Hmm.
But it's sad to see it like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember walking on the streets there, and it was just such a free and open space. I'd been there in 2002. I'd been there, no, in 2005, and then in 2010, and
Mm.
then in 2017.
Okay.
And uh, I mean, every time I went there, I loved San Francisco. It's very, very charming and beautiful area, and the whole Bay Area is fantastic.
The Cry Gala once again, April 28th at Villa Ragusa, Campbell. Buy your tickets, go to cry.org or
And don't
cryamerica.org.
spend any then don't spend any money till I reach there. Because I'm taking it all from you.
Okay. Yeah. And last year, Cry did, I think, raise more than $1 million. So
Yes.
this time we are hoping they're going to outdo that because
Let's
Arjun
hope
Rampal
so.
is coming and there's a lot of excitement in the air to meet you here. So,
Thank you. I'm
yeah.
very excited to be there as well. I look forward to it.
Absolutely, Arjun, and all the best for your upcoming and future projects. I know you're doing some amazing work, especially, we're looking forward to watching you in the Diljit Dosanjh movie.
Oh, fantastic. You've done your research well.
Thank you. Punjab
Yeah, it's going to be a
95,
good one.
right? Yeah.
It's going to be
So
a good one.
looking,
We'll chat once I'm there now.
yeah.
Okay. And it
Thank
was
you.
lovely
Thank you.
chatting with you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Take care. You go to
Take
sleep
care.
now. It's
Yes, I
been a
am going to
long,
sleep well.
long night.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
hope so.
Thanks, Arjun.
Lovely
Take care.
chatting with you.
Lovely
Take
chatting.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Shosha is a creative Indian restaurant located in the heart of Silicon Valley. Shosha is a woman-owned business that serves traditional Indian flavors assimilated with molecular gastronomy techniques. The best Indian bar with happy hours in the Bay Area serves handcrafted drinks inspired by flavors from India with modern craft cocktails that are presented in unique ways. Shosha is a modern take on traditional Indian cuisine. We specialize in corporate luncheon, anniversary celebrations, birthday parties, and catering. Do check us out for a memorable modern Indian dining experience. Shosha is located at 141 South Murphy Avenue in Sunnyvale, California.